welcome back. Today I am going to address something. I polled my audience and the majority were worried about being a mother on their own, doing motherhood and parenthood entirely on their own. And I get that, okay? So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share a couple of things that I don't think I've ever shared here. And I've been really going through it these days. As you know, my daughter is 10 and a half and she's homeschooling. I run a business entirely on my own, okay? I have some help here and there, but like founder, CEO, creator, you know, all the hats are mine. And it's a lot. And I have a 4-year-old who is donor conceived, who is also home full time. And I am most days of the week a caregiver to my brother, who was born with cerebral palsy, is an electric wheelchair user full time, so he needs help with lots of things also. Plus a household and cats and guinea pigs and all the other, like I gotta clean stuff, I gotta cook, I gotta grocery shop, we need clean undies, like all the stuff, okay? It's a lot. And I've really been starting to notice how much it's a lot. Over the past year, probably, I've been toying with the idea of onboarding some help, a house manager, even someone to just be a caregiver to the kids, even just part-time would be fantastic as my business is just continuing to grow and grow and grow. I'm just not enough people on my own and it's hard to keep everything afloat. But the idea of allowing somebody into my space to help me is very challenging for me. And I see this a lot in the choice mom community. We are, for the most part, hyper independent women. We are very self-reliant, we are determined, we are hardworking, we are hyper-focused type of people. And that can be that's really great. Those are really amazing qualities, but oftentimes it can make it hard to accept help. It can make it hard to allow people in, to trust people, to let your guard down, let the walls down. And it's something that I've really been struggling with, and like something's gotta give. Like I'm feeling the pressure, and I have been for a long time. It's too much. So when I'm being honest with you, is being a single mom who does all the things and carries all the things challenging? Of course it is. No question, it is very challenging. And I think it just gets harder and harder. It's funny because the newborn stage is hard, but it's different hard. Like now, my 4-year-old doesn't nap, so there's no nap. He's going to bed a little bit later now. My daughter's 10 and a half, so she goes to bed later. And just the schedule of it all, it's not easy. So if you are considering doing it on your own and you're overwhelmed with the idea, you're not wrong for feeling that way, but I don't want to scare you because, like I've said many times before, being with my ex and being a mom was significantly harder because he was like around but not present. And that was harder for me because it's like you're there but you're not really contributing or helping. And I see that a lot with married women, and that's why there's the married single mom epidemic that's happening, and we're seeing it more and more. And a lot of our mothers were in that situation, but that was the norm then. Now more people are speaking about it, and it's like, hey, this is not fair that I'm carrying a lot of the load and you are just working. That was really hard too. Like I think people assume like just because you have a partner, you're doing life together, and unfortunately it doesn't always work out that way. Like once you have kids, oftentimes things change and people have never been parents before. Like you know what you're doing. We're all just figuring it out as we go, and whose role is what and whose responsibility is what, and how do you parent and how do I parent, and a lot of that can add even more stress to an already stressful situation, which is being a parent. It's hard, it's stressful, it's important, it's it's a weighted decision, and then it's a decision that affects you for the rest of your life, and it's an important one, right? So no, I don't want you to take it lightly. Never do I want you to take it lightly. I do want you to think about it. However, I do recommend, which I wish somebody had recommended to me, was work on yourself more. Like, I know that I have so much of my own shit that I bring with me, and my own baggage and trauma that has caused me to be hyper independent. And again, like I said, it's a good thing, but in a lot of ways it can be detrimental, because it's hard for me to let people in. Even people with great intentions, it's hard for me to let people in and accept help. And it's not even necessarily like a pride thing, like I want to do it all on my own. It's just a matter of being hurt so many times and deciding that it's easier to just do it on my own. And a lot of times it is, but today it's not. Like, I need to find a way to accept help. And yeah, so if you are somebody that has a hard time with allowing people in, do some, therapy or some self-work before deciding to have a baby. Or maybe do it at the same time as making this choice, just to ensure that just because you're super independent, that you can still let people in and still allow help, and just to make your life easier. And whatever that help looks like maybe it's, a babysitter here and there. If you're lucky to have family that's involved, you can have, try to do it that, maybe even once a month, you already have it pre-planned, one day a month, this trusted person can take the kids or the baby or whatever and give you a day to yourself where you can do nothing, do absolutely nothing, and just lay on the couch and watch Netflix, or go out with the girlfriends or whatever it is. Knowing that you have that lined up can make it so much easier for you. Whatever you can make happen for yourself to kind of make you feel more prepared, because that really has been the hardest thing for me. The day-to-day stuff is really not, I don't find it challenging. Like, I wish there was somebody here to do this with me, or there's somebody missing. Like, I genuinely cross my heart, do not feel that ever. Honestly, it's the biggest thing is when it's like I'm carrying so many things, and I wish there was somebody that I could like offload a little bit of that to, But I also don't come from a super big family. Like, I don't have a lot of people around that I can lean on necessarily, and that can be hard too. That's really the hardest thing. So you feeling nervous to be doing it on your own, I feel that is valid, but please don't, if it's a matter of, everybody else has a husband, all my girlfriends have husbands or partners and they have their person, and for me to do it on my own, like, that's so lonely or miserable or sad. No, like, I've never had that experience. Honestly, when you have this idea of what a partnership can be and you feel as though you're missing out, then there can be this energy of sadness. But I don't need to have a timeline. That timeline is put on us because we think that we expire. We think that, the idea of a family will go away if we don't have this person. But what happens with choice motherhood is we completely eliminate that need to rush, or that need to really put the pressure on the timeline, because hey, the clock is ticking and I need the partner, and we have to date for 2 years, and then hopefully we get married, and then once we get married, then we have to start trying, and then by the time we start trying, this is like 6 years down the road, and hey, I'm 42. So you feel like, I gotta go, and that pressure alone will often make you keep the blinders on, turn red flags, yellow, and we kind of, go through the dating world just ready to make something happen. Or if you have your eyes fully open, it can be disappointing, because then it's like, hey, like, this is what I want, and the guy's not there, and we're not on the same timeline, him and I, and then, I was dating him, and he was kind of a dick, and we don't want the same things, and whatever, and then you come home feeling like crap, and because you have this timeline in your head that really doesn't need to exist. You're putting it there. Society's putting it there. Your girlfriends might be contributing to putting it there. But the reality is, you're deciding that that's your choice. You're deciding that that's your only option. It's not the only option. Okay, it's really not. Like, you have options. You can do other things. You can be a solo mom. You can do things on your timeline. And exactly like me, if and when I'm like, right now my focus is my business, my family, my kids. Like, my plate is it runneth over, and I is the tired. So the idea of adding somebody is like, it's not the time. And I know that, and I'm okay with that, and I'm content AF about that. But I know when I am ready, it can happen, and there's no pressure. If that happens when I'm 48, if it happens in 5 years, and maybe things are a little bit more settled, and I have some help, and I've let some people in, and I'm feeling supported, and I have more time, sure, but there's no pressure. And I think once we choose ourselves, we can relieve a lot of that pressure, and then it makes this choice so much easier. So it's not lonely, it's not sad, it's none of that. It is hard to be doing it on your own, but do yourself a favor and line up help today. Look at babysitters, look at childcare, talk to family members, talk to girlfriends, and see, like, hey, if I did this, could I rely on you? Would you be, because I won't have a partner to kind of lean on, would it be okay if I leaned on you one day a month, or whatever? And they might surprise you. If you're somebody that's watching this that has childcare and is like super, you really love the support that you have, can you please just leave a comment or message me and encourage me to just chill the fluff out and allow some support in, because I need it. I really do, but I'm holding myself back because I am afraid. And I don't know if I've ever said that out loud. If you're going through the motions, right now over on the girls chat, the Keep Him Collective, we are working through the SMBC conception formula together. Never done that before. For the whole month of December, we are unpacking the program, doing it together. You're connecting with other women that are on this journey. So if 2026 is the year that you are making solo motherhood happen, you're gonna get a donor, you're gonna have the baby, maybe you're freezing your eggs to be able to be a choice mom, whatever it is, if 2026 is your year, get inside the girls chat like immediately when this is done and join us, and we're going to work through the program together. If you don't have the SMBC conception formula, you can check that out below as well. That way you can go through the program with us and have the entire roadmap and everything, all the course materials and all the trainings and everything, so that way you can go through it with us. I will see you next time. Bye.